Hi guys, and welcome to your stretch section. We're going to increase your flexibility, which is in turn going to help you improve your range of movement. But first of all, I just want to say, I'm going to be holding each stretch around 10 seconds each side. For you, when you're working out at home, whether you're doing it before your workout, during or after your workout, you can then hold your stretches up to 60 seconds each side. So guys, work at your own level and what feels best for you. So the very first stretch that we are going to do is a body roll down. This is a great way to prepare the body for flexibility movement, or if you're going to be doing anything like abdominal work or back work. So you're going to take your feet hip width, balance your body weight from heel to toe. I'm going to show you a front profile and then I'm going to show you a side. So very slowly tuck your chin to your chest, and then you're going to roll down piece by piece through the spine, going as far as comfortable. If you can go all the way down, that's absolutely fine. Tuck the pelvis under and roll yourself back up. So just so you can see from a side profile, balance the body weight through the heels and toes, neck and shoulders nice and long. Then you're going to drop your chin down to your chest, rolling through, keep the belly button pulled in, release it down, go as far as comfortable. Relax that stretch. Then you're going to tuck the pelvis under, and as you come up, scoop up piece by piece through the spine. Nice and slow. You can repeat that possibly 4 times, 5 times, maybe even 6. Take it very slowly and very steady. Now I'm going to show you the next exercise, one of my favourites. Great for stretching out the hip flexor area. So if you're sat at a desk all day and you tend to feel quite tight through the lower back or through the hip area, this is going to help open up the front part of the hip. So I'm going to show you from the side. I'm going to step back. I'm going to come down into a slight lunge position, and then from here I'm going to lift and open. If, however, this is the first time you've done this, you might want to pop your hands down onto your thighs, but the aim is to try and push the hip forward so you feel a stretch down the front of the thigh. So again, you can hold this for 10 seconds and then switch it over like we are now. So I'm going to step back, reach it through, and then if you want to, you're going to add in like a sun salutation lift. Hold that there, and then release and bring it back up. If you want to do around 30 seconds, pop me on pause and stay where you are, or come back to it and do it again a little bit later on. So the next exercise, or the next stretch we're going to do, is focusing on the inner thigh, but I'm also going to add on, and we're going to stretch out the waist as well. So taking the feet a lot wider than hip width, I'd like you to turn one toe out towards the side of the room. The other toe is going to be facing forward. From here, you're going to keep the hip bones pointing towards me, and you're going to sink down. Now, the aim is to try and keep your knee back behind your toe and your torso tall. Elbow goes onto the thigh. You're going to lift and then reach. Making sure you're still feeling this stretch through the inner thigh area. Hold it for a couple more seconds, and roll and release. So let's change up the feet, or pop me on pause if you want to stay there for a bit longer. One toe is pointing forward, or feet are pointing forward. Turn the other foot slightly out to the side. You're going to sink into the middle first. Feel that inner thigh stretch. Now let's add a waist stretch. Hold that there. Tiny bit longer, make sure you're still feeling it through the inner thigh. Release it down, and then wiggle it back up. So give your legs a little shake. I've got another stretch for you, which is a progression of that move if you would like. Keep both toes facing forward, abdominals pulled in. One hand goes onto the side of the thigh. You're going to reach up. Nice and slowly, keep that chest open and hold that stretch. Again, nice exercise for stretching the inner thigh. Stretching through the waist and the hip area, lower back. Bring it back down. Let's change sides to slide the hand down the outer thigh. Reach. If you want to support your body weight a tiny bit, you can rest your hand on top of that thigh or calf, depending on where you are in that stretch. And release it back down. Give the leg a little wiggle. So if you've been jumping around quite a lot, or if you maybe come in from running, a great stretch for stretching out the calf muscle, if you come down onto the floor, is imagine you're starting a race. You're going to pop your heel near your knee, hands are going to go down, and then you're going to lean forward. You're going to feel a stretch run down into the back of your shoe. Keep the chest nice and long and hold that stretch. So again, 10 seconds if you're with me roughly, or you can stay for 30 seconds or 60 seconds. Hold that stretch, and let's change it up. So heel goes slightly level with that knee, hands go down, and then transfer the weight gently forward so you feel that stretch go down into your shoe. Pull up through your belly button still. Keep that neck in neutral and relax. We're now going to do one of my favourite stretches. It's called the swan, or the swan pose. We're going to start facing one side, and what I'd like you to do is bring one leg in front so it creates an angle, a right angle. The other leg is also at a right angle, so I'll just show you from the other side, just so you can see that stretch. That's level one. So the thigh is coming towards me and the other knee is going straight away from the body. From here, fingertips are going to go onto the mat, and I want you to roll your hip forward. So you're keeping your weight through and forward, and you're going to feel this on the leading leg, on the front leg. Hold that stretch. And then release it there. So we'll head back to that first side. So you're going to head into a right angle, leg goes behind, roll through the hip, and then lean forward. Now, depending on your flexibility, on the first exercise I did, the heel was quite close to the body. You can gradually move that foot further away. So I'm just going to show you that next level and ease through, feeling it through the hip area here. And relax it out. Well done. Coming up onto your knees, step one foot up. This I like to call the Fame pose. If you ever watched Flashdance or Fame. So you're going to take your hands behind you and you're going to lift your hips up and away. So we're stretching out the front of the thigh and the hip flexor area. So hold it for a little bit longer. And then when you're ready, release that down. So that's like a dancer's pose. So we're going to change up legs. Hands go behind you. And then when you're ready, you're going to lift up and through your hip. Keeping the abdominals pulled in nice and tight, neck nice and long. And release it off. Well done. Good news. We're going to lay down. We're going to stretch out the lower back. We're also going to stretch out the hamstrings. So pop yourself onto the floor. The very first one we're going to do is for the lower back. Hands are by your sides. I'd like you to just very gently ease your knees towards me. Now this is very dependent on your flexibility. If you're up here, that's fine. If you can go all the way down, then feel free to, but just keep the shoulder, the further shoulder away, relaxed and onto the floor. Hold that there, come back to center. So we're going to change sides. Hands relaxed, feet start neutral, drop it over to the side. Again, try and keep the shoulder nice and relaxed. It's one of my favourite stretches. Hold it there, let that release off. Come back to centre. Let's do those hamstrings. So hips are in neutral, extend one leg up. Your hand can go on your thigh. If you're really flexible and you can get your foot closer to you, you might be able to hold onto your calf. I'm going to stick with holding onto the thigh, and the aim is to get the leg as straight as possible. So hold that stretch. And release. Let's change it up. So extend the leg up and away. You hold wherever's most comfortable. Relax the foot, doesn't matter, you can have it flat or pointed. We're focusing on the stretch running down the back of the leg. And release it off. Bring yourself up to seated. This is the very last one. It's called the child's pose. So what I'd like you to do is come up onto the knees. Hands are going to go into just underneath the chest. Take the knees slightly out to the sides, keeping your feet together. And from here, you're going to sink back and over your heels, and just hold that stretch. Nearly there. And very slowly come back up. And well done, guys, you've just completed your stretch section.